All right, guys, we're just talking about having vacancies in the winter month. It is mid-February as we're filming this. Connor's got one coming up. His rental house that he rented about a year ago, they just stayed 1 year and they've already given you their notice. They're going to be moving out at the end of March. And the wedding's coming up April 15th, so we don't need that to distract, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then Don's got the one that's vacant now. I've got two that are vacant that I'm trying to rent. And so we're all just kind of talking about trying to rent a house in the middle of the winter. People don't want to move, it's cold.
Kids don't know out of school yet.
In the winter, I was telling Don, I usually have to drop my prices 100 or 2 or 300, something like that. If you're not getting any activity within a week or two, kind of bring it down. When we rent one this time, make that renewal so it's not exactly 1 year. So if you rent it on March the 1st, make it so it renews maybe May 1st. And so this first year, that might be 14 months. And then make it auto-renew annually after that first term. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Jeremy Parvin, realtor, investor. If you enjoyed this video, it would help a lot if you would click the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Is that to help seasonal issue like the school?
Absolutely. So next time that they move out, it'll most likely be on that May 1st. Half the people break the lease, right? And that's kind of a different scenario.
Right.
But at least you're set up for that May term. So if they break it early, you keep their deposit, so that kind of helps you out. If they leave on time, you're in the best in the warm season, you're in the moving season. You'll have a few months there of that warm summer season when it's moving time.
And overall, you think May is the...
Well, what I do with mine, as you get a portfolio, I spread mine out in those summer months. And so I'll have an April 1st. I generally prorate that up to the 1st of the month. I get all my rents no matter when they move in. If they move in on the 5th, I might prorate that first month, or I'll have them pay a first month and prorate the second, is what I usually do.
Gotcha. But
I always get the rent due on the 1st. That way all your rents are due on the 1st and you're not trying to figure out every week you got something else to do. It's too painful. And your mortgage payments, you can collect all your rent on the first week and then pay your mortgage payments on like the second week. When we signed this a year ago, if we just sign it a little longer, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to talk those people into that? You just fill out the paperwork, and when you're reading it with them, you say on the first year, it's actually a couple of extra months. And the reason is because, it's going to be cold here and you probably don't want to move and you might have kids in school too. So I make it May or June or something like that so that that's when you want to move anyway. And you just say, is that okay? And they say, sure. I've never had anybody. Plus, you're guaranteeing them the same rate.
And it's right giving them the window that their kids probably are out of school out.
So Don's using Zillow Rental Property Manager.
We're doing the same.
Yesterday we did the 3D tour. The Zillow Rental Property Manager app has a separate app called Zillow 3D Tour, and it works on iPhones.
Kurt did it on our Highland Park house.
Cool.
It was super easy for her to do. It was pretty slick words.
Okay.
Nice.
So your tenants their lease ends end of March, and a lot of landlords, or certainly new landlords, will think you've got to wait till they move out. You can't go in there and look at anything, and so you're going to have a month or two downtime. Plan backwards. If it's going to be available April 1st, plan to start your advertising 3 or 4 weeks before that. So say March 1st, go over there about a month prior to that. That would be February 1st. So that's like now. So I'll call them, say, hey, can I come check the place out? I hate to see y'all go. And is there anything we can do to make you stay? And if you had to reduce your rent $100 or something to lock in, it's worth it probably. Sure. If not, and then say, what kind of repairs does it need? And does it need painted or whatever? And they'll usually tell you a few things. And say, okay, well, hey, I'd like to come over, schedule a time to come over and just walk through it like next week and make you a list. A lot of that stuff you can come back and fix. Say, okay, cool, well, let me schedule and I'll fix that toilet. You can even paint a little in there. It's kind of some small stuff, When you come back, just plan to do all that. Basically what you're doing is using their time instead of yours. And whenever you go to show it, it'll be better also. Something else I would do is pretty up the outside. So curb appeal. I pay a guy, not them, even though it's their responsibility to do the upkeep outside. If it looks bad out there and you have to do something major and you need to charge them, I might charge them half of that bill or something like that. Because they're getting all their deposit back, except for something you have to fix. Like I've had them before where they didn't touch landscaping and it's like way overgrown, and I'm like, it cost me $700 to get your yard in shape. It's clearly your responsibility. How about half? They don't argue with that. I mean, you have a bill. I say, if I have to hire my guy, it's going to be expensive. And they usually don't do a great job. But my point is, that looking good outside is everything when you go to show it. And so if you have to do it yourself or pay somebody, edge everything, clean up the curb from your neighbors on one side to your neighbors on the other side, blow everything, edge everything, fresh mulch or pine straw. That makes a huge difference. Even if you have to have it mowed once. Do that right before you're about to show it. So fix the stuff, get it looking good outside. Since yours don't owe you a favor, they're moving out on time. Call them and say, hey, I'm going to put it up for rent about a month early. I'm going to have them drive by and make sure if I like the people and they want to see the inside, Instead of me coming in to show it, I'd be happy to pay you, if you do me a favor, I'd be very happy to pay you guys like $40 to show it every time. And then if they take it, I'll give you $100. It'll save you time. They're already there.
Yeah.
And they're usually happy to do that for you if you have a good relationship with them. Now, if they're moving out early, which, more people move out early than all the time. So they're breaking
Well,
rules.
that's what you're talking about doing right now.
Okay. When they move out early, they owe you a favor. What I'll tell them a lot of times, if you move out early, people expect to lose their deposit. And they're also on the hook for a few more months of rent. So you say, hey, listen, I get it. Life doesn't happen like a contract or a calendar, right? Things happen. What's important to me is getting this thing lined up and ready to get. And if you could help me do that, I'll advertise, have people drive by, and I'll call you, and will you show it for me? And the moment I get it rented and start collecting rent, then I'll let you off the hook for rent. And they're like, very happy. And they're motivated. And it's not the day my current tenant moves out. It's the day that rent starts. And I tell them, it often takes a month or somebody for people to give their notice. So we need to get a jump start on this. That's kind of 2 ways that I do it, and that works really well. And those 2 things about just starting early is a huge difference than what most landlords do. Most landlords end up burning those month or 2 periods. And 2 months is, the difference between profitability. If you're out a month or 2 of rent, that's not profitable that entire year.
Good thought.
How are the wedding plans going?
Coming along fast. Went and looked at wedding days today.
Wow.
Coming quick.
Okay, wait. I just heard this. You are going to be
I just heard that. I heard it. They gave it to me as an assignment, so I'm still waiting on them to give me a little bit. Give me a little bit of detail on what she wants me to do. I may have to become ordained just to be able to do it.
So Don is going to be their officiant. He's going to marry them. So Don teaches this class here at the Sports Barn Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was new news to me recently.
Let me tell you, when I first came in, I said, "You're serious? Are you just kidding?" But they're serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. But let's try to get your house lined up,
Yeah.
and that'll take some stress off.
It will.
Absolutely.
On yours, or are you dropping yours for the season?
I think we're going to try to keep the 303 in Brainerd the same. For now, I think that's a pretty good price for the place. The Highland Park, we just listed that one, and that one's got a decent amount of interest. We've got like 15, 20 hits of, communication on there. Mm-hmm. We have 4 applications so far, but it kind of goes after that. So he might drop it a little bit, but I think it's pretty competitive right now. It's just kind of slow.
Yeah.
Season. Yeah.
That's what we're learning right now. Seasons.
Yeah, we're all kind of struggling with that. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for the chat.
Thank you.
Good luck on running your places.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Catch you later.
Yeah, great help. Incredible. And just coming off of his head as we walk through the house. Highly recommend getting him.
Thank you, Don. If you enjoyed this video, it would help a lot if you would click the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, although I'm a licensed CPA and I have 3 business degrees, I'm just a guy on YouTube, so be sure to contact your professionals before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. IdentityGuard.com is now offering my subscribers a 33% discount on their services. See the link in the show notes below.